The W, the O, the R, the K. The W, the O, the R, the K. Look yourself in the face. Look yourself in the mirror. Ask yourself, are you giving 120% every day? Every play? Give me 120 or don't give me nothing at all. The guy you competing against, you haven't outworked him. You've not outworked the person next to you. You've not out-hustled them. You've not out-grind them. You've not outdone them. You're not locked in. Bring all your passion. Bring heart. Every single game, every single play. Put forth 120% or don't ask nobody to do nothing to you. The W, the O, the R, the K. The W, the O.
And hey, what's going on, everybody over there on YouTube, over there on X, and on TikTok, y'all. On TikTok, make sure you guys are tapping that like screen, man. Make sure you guys are fired up over there and ready to rock and roll over there on TikTok. Let's do this thing this morning. Let's get into it. Let's get after it. Let's look at these markets. Let's see what's going on. We're going to get into some details of these markets today, and really look and see where this market could be headed as the day moves on. And you know, it's going to get interesting. This market's going to get interesting. So we're going to get into it. We're going to look at it from an overall perspective. Crypto. We're going to look at it from a macro perspective. Going to look at the stock market, see where they're at today. Going to look at the cryptocurrency market in detail today. See where these things are headed. See where we're going. And make sure we're ready for the trading day today, guys. So go ahead, tap that like screen on your way in on TikTok. You know, keep tapping that thing over there on X and YouTube as well. Go ahead, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that share button, y'all. I noticed a lot of people that watch the videos over there on YouTube aren't subscribed and they don't hit that like button on their way in. So make sure you're hitting that thing on your way in. Really appreciate that. Helps the channel out, helps me out. Welcome, Ken. Ken, how you doing, my brother? It's going to be a good day in crypto for you, I think. I think we're moving. I think we're moving in the right direction over here. Curtis, what's up, my brother over there on YouTube, man? Glad to see you. Glad to see you back after it and back up in the chat, man. Doing your thing, man. Good morning to you. We're gonna give everybody's just rolling in this morning, so we're gonna give everybody a minute over there on TikTok, guys. Keep smashing that like screen on your way in. Like I said, we are going to definitely get in and get up and get after this thing today. It's a Wednesday, so it's the middle of the week, so we are definitely going to start grinding it out here for the rest of the week. So my man Curtis is here over there, and let me see what's up over here on TikTok as well. As you guys know, we do love my TikTok family over there as we're growing this thing out, really growing this thing out and really making some moves over there. So I'd like to see that as well. Love to see that. See what we got going on in the comments over here. Yeah. Keep tapping that like screen, y'all. Over there on TikTok. Keep tapping that thing, y'all. A lot of people over there on TikTok, loving it over there. So looking really good. A lot of people doing their chat, and appreciate you guys, man. Thanks for the follows over there as well. See some people are following over there as well. Good morning. Jerry, good morning. Good morning to you. Good morning to you as well. We're gonna go ahead. We're gonna get after this thing, man. It sounds good. It sounds good over there. Can everybody hear me? Is everything good? Make sure everything's good. So definitely, let's go ahead. Let's get into it. Let's get after it real quick. Asian markets. get over here on the stock market real quick. The Asian markets, they didn't trade too well last night. They didn't end the day last too well. They traded down. They definitely traded down. Over there in the European markets, where my man Ken is, uh, they uh, they just try, just trying. Curtis says he's just trying to make that paper, man. Yo, man, we're making that powder, man. We're making that paper, baby. We do all day, every day, Curtis. Uh, we try to make money every single day. Uh, the European markets, when I woke up this morning, they were definitely were trading down, and they definitely were trading down, and they definitely started to come back and started to trade a little bit to the upside already. So that's a good thing. What's up, Scottish? How you doing, man? Good morning. Good morning to you. Hope you're doing well, man. Hope you're trading well. Making money on a leverage trades. We definitely are making some money over there. But yeah, the European markets, they started to turn it around. Ken woke up. Ken started to throw a whole bunch of money into the market. He started to move the market for me, and all is good. Every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, Ken's dumping the millions into the market for me, making me look good at least for an hour. At least for an hour. So do your thing. European markets, like I said, they're trading pretty well right now. United States pre-markets, not so hot. You guys, excuse me if I start coughing though, because I'm still a little bit under the weather. So just if I start coughing, just bear with me. Just trying to get over this thing, man. This thing beat me up pretty good. So we let's see. Let's see where we head. Yep, over there on TikTok. Keep smashing that like screen, man. Keep tapping that like screen. Let TikTok know we're there on YouTube and on X, guys. Go ahead and keep sharing this thing out and like it on your way in. Like I said, a lot of people who watch this live don't like it, don't share it, and a lot of them aren't subscribed. So hit that subscribe button as well over there on TikTok. Hit that follow button. Really appreciate it. Really helps out the channel. And we try to do this for you every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and sometimes a lot of pop up TikTok lives as well. So love that. But the United States market's not open, doesn't look like they're going to open all that well. The Dow is in green, the S&P 500 is in red, and the Nasdaq is in red. But these guys are coming off a record trading day yesterday. Set new records yesterday as far as trading goes, as far as volume goes, all that good stuff. So definitely the stock market was looking pretty damn solid yesterday. So a little bit of a retracement today to open the market is pretty much baked in and pretty much kind of where you can expect things to go. Obviously, some of the headlines over here, the big news. You got Trump talking about wanting to take Greenland. We'll see where this thing shakes out at. I think sometimes it's better for us to just sit back and just wait and see what happens, rather than trying to react to the news as it's coming out as possibilities and probabilities. We'll see where this thing shakes out at. This whole Greenland thing's been in the conversation for a little bit. We'll see. We'll see. I mean, everything's up in the air right now. All right. So just got to see how this thing shakes itself out. The Venezuela situation we'll get into in a little bit, and about their Bitcoin supply and what's true, what's not true, and we'll kind of weed through some of that news as well. But all in all, the market themselves is looking pretty solid uh, today. I think I think we'll start the market in a down market, but I think we'll at least level off a little bit when it comes to the stock market. I think we'll at least get to even. Um, I think we'll at least get to even when it comes to the stock market as we start to open up. I think all signs are kind of pointing for us to get back to at least that level mark, right? Whereas gold, we look at gold's down today, silver's down today, copper's down today, palladium's down today, and all the precious metals are down today. But boy, oh boy, oh boy, did they ever go on a run, right? Gold, silver, oh boy, they went on a run. So you can expect a little bit of a sell off on them as they started to skyrocket and get to their new all time highs as well. So definitely a little bit of retracement there is probably a good thing. Scott says, "Good morning, DG." Uh, Tariffs. Uh, yeah, I think tariffs themselves are going to be a big focus, Scottish, moving forward. As you guys, as we can see from the markets in general, though, the tariffs really haven't had a big impact on on the trading volume or the stock market in general, right? I do think that that is one of the reasons why you're seeing gold and silver move to their new all time highs, is because it's just a little bit of uncertainty, right? Just a little bit of that uncertainty that's going on right now around tariffs, around the whole macro situation. I think people are kind of hedging their bets, but we got to see, like, everybody had their speculation about tariffs when they were first implemented. Some people were speculating that it tank the market. Some people were speculating send the market, and ultimately, what's going to end up happening is you're going to find out, right? You're going to find out as the market moves, right? And what's going on right now and what's happening is the market is setting a new all-time high, right? So, the S&P and the Dow, the Nasdaq, they're all doing pretty damn well in the face of the tariffs. Actually, Ford, because you guys know I'm pretty invested in the stock market. Ford itself put out its one of its most profitable years, right? Uh, Oh, that was Selmo who was talking about tariffs. Good morning, Selmo. How are you, brother? How are you? How are you, my brother? But Ford put out one of its most profitable years uh, as far as sales of cars in the United States. So it definitely put up a profit right now. So tariffs. I don't know. We'll see how they affect us moving forward. Uh, China will be to China's going to be an issue. Uh, you know, China's going to be an issue, and I do think that the China Taiwan situation may start to heat up a little bit with the precedent. So yeah, Selmo, I can see what you're saying there. I think that situation has a potential to heat itself up a little bit, and could definitely affect trade, and could affect the markets in general. And we'll see. But again, with all this macro stuff that's going on, we have to wait and see, right? We can speculate, but we all have to wait and see how this stuff plays itself out, right? Got to be prepared for the good side of it and the bad side of it, right? Just like when we kind of had our situation over there in Venezuela. We came on here and I told you guys, this is how you guys, yeah, regardless of whether you agree with the situation or disagree with it, the question you got to ask yourself is how can I capitalize off of it, right? Because it happened, right? And because it happened, you have to look at it and say, how can I make money off of this? Well, Chevron's over there, and they're already producing 25% of the oil drilling that's over there. So obviously, for them guys to ramp up is it's pretty easy for them to do. So Chevron would have been a good investment. Valkyrie, who's sitting right there, who can make this refinery and refine this heavy oil is sitting right there in Texas, right? So, I mean, when you're looking at this thing, you got to know, you got to see how you can capitalize off of this, right? So, you know, Depot, 100%. Bricks is gonna, it's gonna do what Bricks does, right? I think that Bricks is gonna run into problems at every step of the way, Ken. Uh, and the dollar itself, I mean, it's gonna be hard to replace that dollar off the petrodollar, but if thank you guys for the heart me over there, guys, on TikTok. Appreciate you guys. Keep tapping that like screen. I'm my man Hunzinger over there holding it down for me over there, man. Appreciate you, brother. And when I'm actually on my TikTok studio, Hunzinger over there, better known as the Junior, over here on YouTube. When I'm actually in my YouTube studio, I'll make you the mod over there, and you can definitely hold it down for me over there on TikTok. Appreciate you, brother. Everybody keep tapping that like screen, but you know, what, I forget what we were talking about. Oh, bricks. Yeah. So when we get to bricks, I mean, you look at it, it's gonna be hard. It's gonna be hard for them guys to really overtake the United States dollar, but that's not to say that it can't happen, right? And they keep gaining a little bit more momentum as the weeks move on. And that's something that these other nations are going to have to deal with, right? They're going to have to deal with it. They're going to have to figure it out. They're going to have to figure out what to do with it. And it's not something that's going away. Definitely not something that's going anywhere going away. So, a little bit of overview of what we got going on in the macro environment, which is obviously are a lot of these things drive markets, right? We'll drill down into some crypto now. Can't talk too many politics because then they'll start taking me off of these off of these channels or start giving me strikes. Last time I got on here and started talking about politics, YouTube gave me a strike and wanted to ban me and everything else. You also gotta really pay attention to what we say. So you know, um, but it is what it is. But there's a lot of situations out there right now that we got to deal with as a government. We'll deal with them. We'll see where we're headed. We'll deal with them, and they're going to work out how they're going to work out, right? And uh, and with each situation that comes up, we'll figure out how to uh, how to capitalize off the situation. No more politics. Laughing out loud. Ken says, "Yeah, it's tough, man, because these guys censor you a little bit on these platforms. They censor you, as you start talking a little bit too much about stuff, and the next thing you know, you're getting strikes, and they want to take your videos down, or they want to take your lives down, or they want to demonetize you. They want to do all that stuff. So you gotta touch it and kind of move on from it. Because if you don't, then you're gonna end up without a channel. It's kind of how it is, right? Yeah. So want to see what's going on out here. Uh, just watching, just watching my uphold, laughing out loud. All right, you just watching your uphold. I'm over here on TikTok reading through a little bit of these comments right now. I can't get to all of them, obviously, because they're moving pretty quick, and I got three. I got three streams on at once, so it's a little bit tough. A little bit tough. Let's see. You know that all. Yeah, it all does sound like grooming for a social score. I agree with you. So I mean, but politics are politics. And we really got to pay attention to what's going on. But at the same time, we have to uh, we have to capitalize off of these things. So can't have that. No, you can't have that. We can't have that. We can't have that, Ken. Uh, yo, David, how are you, man? How are you? How have you been, my brother? How are you? Let's get into a little bit of this crypto market. So let's get a little bit of an overview of the crypto market, and then we'll dig down into a little bit more detail about kind of where uh, David says, give me some, give me some alts. Yeah, we'll look at some alts. We'll look at some alts, but dig down. We'll look at the crypto market now. Looking at a Bitcoin Fear and Greed Index right now, sitting at 49, which is in neutral. Cars parked. Right, we came out of extreme fear. We came into fear. Now we're into neutral. Cars kind of just parked in neutral, just kind of hanging out. Um, in which way we're gonna go, right? So everybody's just kind of parked in the parking lot doing their thing, right? Uh, we got the altcoin season sitting at 26 out of 100. definitely moving to the upside. Moving to the upside. Alts are starting to catch some ground here and really starting to make some moves, right? Not that parabolic move, but definitely starting to make some sort of move here in the altcoin. We'll get into a little bit of why I think this is happening and what I'm looking at now. What I'm looking at here. We got the cryptocurrency total market cap sitting at $3.15 trillion, which if we're looking at the chart right now, it's definitely starting to come down just a hair, just a little bit. Uh, but not enough to worry about. We'll get into some of these altcoin charts here in a minute. We'll kind of see where this market's headed for the day and some good entry points maybe for some altcoins. Uh, got the ETF inflows, outflows at a negative 130 million dollars yesterday. So Bitcoin and Ethereum had some outflows yesterday out of their ETFs, which definitely drove the price. But here's some stuff that we got to really pay attention to that's starting to catch ground right now. Heat, good morning. What's going on, my brother? How are you? You got the Bitcoin dominance at 58.1%. The Ethereum dominance is slowly starting to tick up at 12.3%. It was at 12.1% on Monday when we streamed. So that Ethereum dominance is starting to tick up just a little bit, and the altcoin dominance is starting to tick up just a little bit too, sitting at 29.6%. I think this was at like 29.3% when we streamed on Monday, somewhere up in there. So you're starting to see some of that dominance starting to shift a little bit. Not overwhelmingly shift, but just shift a little bit enough to give these guys a little bit of a pump, right? So these altcoins a little bit of a pump, which is kind of what we want to see. Got to get the Ethereum dominance up. Got to get the Bitcoin dominance down to around 55. If you can get it down to between like 55 and 56%, you'll see these altcoins really start to take off and really start to move, right? But that we need that slow, steady tick up. You don't want a big spike up in Ethereum dominance or altcoin dominance because the bigger the spike up at once, the harder to fall, right? So I like to kind of see these things start to slowly tick up. So we got the options, the perpetual futures that are open. We're looking at $679.3 billion. A lot of people got liquidated, man. A lot of people got liquidated over the last couple of days, but we talked about it here. I told you guys it was coming. Told you guys the levels it was coming at. Hit them levels. Did its thing, right? Did its thing, right? You got Bitcoin right now sitting at $91,789. We'll get into the Bitcoin chart here in a minute. You got Ethereum sitting at $3,212. Not bad. I like Ethereum right there where it is. You got BNB holding on to this $900 mark sitting at 909. Holding pretty strong right there. Solana sitting at $137.49. Like where Solana's sitting right now. I'm a big fan of Solana. I think Solana's going to make a big move here. And I'll tell you guys why in a minute. I think Solana's in a very good situation. And you got XRP sitting at $2.24 right now, and I think that XRP is in another good situation right now. That's not to say that it's going to go to the moon tomorrow, but I definitely think it's in a good situation right here. And we'll get into some of the reasons why I think XRP is in a good situation as well when we get into the charts. And it has to all do with institutional flow and then money flow. So I think that them two. I'm really liking where Solana's sitting right now, and I'm really liking the long-term effects of XRP and where I think that they may be able to go kind of short term and long term as well. People thinking we will see a $3 XRP. $3 XRP is not out of the question, especially in Q1. I think that it can get there, but there's a couple of things that's got to happen in order for it to get there. And we'll go over that, Curtis. Selmo. I think it can get there, and there's some reasons why. So let's go ahead. Let's look at a little bit of this news, right? Because this is going to kind of tell us a little bit about what's going on, right? So you got Venezuela. we talked about the amount of Bitcoin that they thought that they had was 600, around 600,000 BTC. That's not true. That has been proven to be not true. Do they hold some Bitcoin? Yeah, but they don't hold nearly that much, right? And that's one of the reasons you see this big Bitcoin pump, because everybody was thinking that Venezuela had all of this Bitcoin sitting there in reserve. The United States was going to go ahead and confiscate that Bitcoin and then go ahead and put it in a strategic reserve. And they don't have as much Bitcoin uh, as initially suspected, right? So, um, that has a negative impact on Bitcoin right there. But just from the FOMO that everybody thought was going to happen, and then actually what happened, and that's why we got to pay attention, not to what initially reported, but what can actually be proven. But here's the big one: Morgan Stanley files for Bitcoin and Solana ETFs. Morgan Stanley's a big, 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 big deal, right? Because they hold a lot of people's investments, and they hold a lot of people's funds, right? And with these ETFs, what the Morgan Stanley was pushing, and this is something that you get here on this channel, we dig a little bit deeper than just hey, they filed for ETF. Morgan Stanley was pushing uh, BlackRock's IBIT and Fidelity's Bitcoin ETF to all their customers, right? Their higher value customers. So Morgan Stanley basically came out and said, well, why are we doing that? We could just launch our own, right? So what's interesting about this is they launched Bitcoin and Solana. They didn't launch Ethereum, which is very interesting, and something that people should really pay attention to is that this big money is now sitting behind Morgan Stanley is now sitting behind Bitcoin and Solana. One of the reasons I believe that you're going to see these Solana ETFs really take off, and one of the reasons why I'm so high on Solana right now, is because Solana has a staking ETF. Ethereum does too, and I think that that's a huge deal for Ethereum and a huge deal for Solana, because the people that are buying these ETFs now can see yield off of these ETFs, which in turn allows them to actually make money off their investment rather than just holding a Solana token and going to stake it somewhere and blah, 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 right? Now you can buy the ETF, you can see the yield off of the ETF, not nearly as much as you're going to get by staking it away, but you got to remember these high value people that are in the stock market, they're not looking to hold tokens and stake them on Jupiter or stake them on the Phantom wallet or anything like that. They're looking to make some investments and make some money, right? So with these Solana ETFs, now there's you're seeing yield. But Morgan Stanley, this is big. This is big for Bitcoin. This is big for Solana. So this is one of the reasons why I'm really high on Solana. The other reasons that I'm really high on XRP, and I think that they might be able to see a $3 XRP in the first quarter, is because their ETFs are absolutely killing it right now. And they don't and they don't have a huge ETF that's sitting out there right now, right? Like you're not looking at these big power players that have launched their XRP ETFs yet. Yes, they're in a pipeline. Yes, they're in the works. Yes, they're kind of sitting there waiting for approval, waiting to go live and all this stuff. But actually being traded on the open market right now, they're not being traded on the open market. Until you get your BlackRock, your iShare XRP ETF, and that thing goes live, um, you're kind of really playing with second tier ETFs like Canberry and Bitwise and things like that. They're more really second tier ETFs. I mean, yeah, they have volume, and XRP's killing the volume over there. Think about it like this: if you're killing the ETF volumes on second tier ETFs, right, and low scale ETFs. What are you going to do when one of these big power players launches an ETF right for you? Like when iShares comes out and launches that big power player ETF for you, you're gonna actually even get even more volume because it shows that the demand is there, right? So you got to have the demand, and the lower tier ETFs actually are showing that they have the demand right now. So that's a good thing. That's a good thing for XRP. And this is why I think if they can get one of them big tier ETFs to go live and really start to trade and go live, like a 21 shares, I think that's where you see your $3 XRP. and that's where you see it really start to break out. Because you're really gonna start to see a lot of volume come through there, right? Like I said, you're killing it on your mid tiers, right? ETFs, I mean, let's be honest, like Bitwise and Cambria or whatever they call it. I mean, they're big companies, but they're nowhere near as big as BlackRock or Fidelity or anybody like that, right? Like, I mean, let's be honest, it's ridiculous, right? But Solana with their staking ETFs are crazy. And then you look at Solana's revenue, 1.4 billion, uh, as meme coins fade, right? So Solana's really starting to change their blockchain over the real world tokenized asset. Why you see Morgan Stanley, I believe why you see Morgan Stanley really trying to back Solana right now. Because Solana's real world tokenized assets, what they have going on in their blockchain right now, you see so much money flow going on over there. And with their upgrade that's coming, and they're supposed to be as fast as Visa and MasterCard, that's just going to make more money flow over there right now. And the real world tokenized asset money flow is going into Solana and going into AVAX right now. That's where it's headed. That's where it's going. So, excuse me, guys. So, if you want to know where these big, huge companies are putting their money when it comes to real world tokenized assets, it's on them two blocks. Uh, and obviously, we talked about the Ethereum staking ETF, and it looks like Grayscale is getting ready to launch its first Ethereum staking ETF, and this is huge for ETH. This is what ETH needs, right? This if people can take their Ethereum ETF, which they're in the process of doing, to move them from where they are to moving them to an Ethereum staking ETF. This is how your Ethereum is going to get to 4,000, right? This is how it's going to make that move up to 4,000, right? Because you're going to see a lot of FOMO into these ETFs, and Grayscale is the first ones to do it. They're the first ones to make this transition. Grayscale is usually a lot of times they're first to market. You guys know by watching this channel, I'm not a big Grayscale fan. Their fees are way too high. They're always dumping the market. But you know what? I do give them guys credit for putting themselves out there and really starting to be first to market with a lot of these ETFs, right? A lot of them a lot of them will tank, right? Like you look at a Dogecoin ETF. I mean, I know people love Dogecoin, but that thing, uh, it's not going to move Dogecoin for any significant volume, any significant level. What I'm waiting for from the meme coin ETFs is actually a basket of the top 10, top 5, top 10 meme coins, right? I think that's going to be that one right there could absolutely explode. Um, and speaking of meme coins are rallying right now, and they're making some money, right? And we can't deny the fact that meme coins have actually really started to take off a little bit. And you can see I put a YouTube short out. I think I also posted on TikTok as well. If you look at the amount of gains that meme coins have made over the past week, you're talking 40, 50, 60%. Thank you for the heart me over there on TikTok. You guys keep tapping that like screen. You're talking 50% move. And it's not so important that the meme coins are making 40 to 50% moves. That's not the point that I'm trying to make. The point that I'm trying to make is that when you start to see some of the OG meme coins like Pepe, Brett, Bonk, Dog with Hat, Shib, Doge. When you start to see projects like that move, even Floki, what that means, and that should tell people is that a lot of people are going risk on. A lot of people are going back risk on in crypto, right? And that's good because that means that money is starting to flow around a little bit, right? So let's go ahead. Let's get into some of these charts, right? Let's look to see what we have going on in the cryptocurrency market today, in general, and where we could possibly be headed. So here we got the total cryptocurrency market cap sitting at $3.12 trillion. We'll drill down into this thing right here. Sorry for you guys on TikTok. You guys can't see the charts, but just listen. I'll talk my way through it and try to explain it the best way I can, right? So what we have is we got a red candle coming in today, right? You can see that the total cryptocurrency market cap was in a constant uptrend for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 days, right? 10 days we went on a run up from market cap. We started to break out of that today for with this daily candle right here. Started to put in our first red candle after 10 days. Obviously, the market's going to pull back. You see the EMA ribbon sitting right here. Obviously, I'm expecting the market cap to pull back into these EMA ribbons to come back and just pull back just a little bit. You can't expect the market to just continue to go up forever, right? There has to be some sort of retracement. There has to be some sort of pullback to fill some of these gaps, right? You see the constant move up, you kind of come back down, and it's funny how the EMA ribbons in the moving averages all tend to sit right around halfway down from the move up, which is what I've always said. That when you have a big spike up for days and days and days, expect a retracement at some point about halfway down through that, right? Because that's kind of how you fill them gaps, right? I call them the fair market value gaps. You have that run up, usually come down about halfway. You fill that gap, and then you're going to do one or two things. You're either going to make that next move to the upside higher than where you were, or you're going to continue to the downside. But you're going to fill that gap. And that gap right now is sitting at about $3.06 trillion right now in the total market cap. So expect a little bit of a pullback. I'm really not too worried about it. I think even if we pull back, we'll bounce back up, right? So when we look at the total three, which is all of the altcoins minus Bitcoin and Ethereum, take Bitcoin and Ethereum out of it. Everybody asks me, what's my altcoin doing? How is my altcoin going to do today? Just look at the total three. It's going to tell you exactly what your altcoin is going to do. Quick look, you can look at the individual charts all you want, but the total three will tell you if you're in altcoins exactly how to play that altcoin for the day. And this chart is really interesting. I was looking at it this morning, and you can see that it's sitting at a $1.29 trillion market cap right now on a total three. But this blue box up above us right here, that we've been tracking the blue box right here since 2023, right? So this blue box has acted as support since 2023, right? All the way down, this blue box has acted as support. We fell out of this blue box right here. This was the downturn. Right? This was the big liquidation event. This was the downturn. This was when the market started to turn. We'll get into the Bitcoin chart about where Bitcoin's at in a minute, but just looking at the total three in general, this is where everybody started to really start to take a really hard look at their portfolio and go, where am I and where am I going, right? Right here during this time, fell out of this blue box, it started to print candles outside. It came up, you can see, because this blue box, because the bottom of this blue box right here acted as support since 2023. Now it's acting as resistance for you, which once was support, it now becomes resistance, right? So now it's acting as a resistance level. And you can see there's been plenty of times where this thing has started to come up and tap the bottom of that blue box and get rejected every single time, right? You look at it right here, rejection, 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 rejection. Every single time, just rejected, rejected, rejected. Just cannot break its way back into that blue tunnel, right? Where are we right now? Where are we today? We're sitting on the bottom of this blue box right here, and we're getting rejected. We're getting rejected off of the bottom side of this box right here, right? Yes, your EMA ribbons are pointing to the upside. Let's see. You look at your indicators. You're overbought here. You're overbought here. There will be a sell signal that comes in here soon. Not that you're not selling total three, but this tells you that the market is going to go down. Uh, love how you break it down. Thanks, Ken. Uh, we moving. Excuse me, guys. I'm sorry. We'll catch up on the chat here in a second. We moving all right. We moving all right. Straight down. Not straight down. Not straight down. I just think that when you watch this from the perspective of total three, right? Uh, you look at this market cap right here, it's sitting at three. Where's that box right there? Let's go there. Let's look at it. It keeps getting thrown off of this box right around 3.3. And where are we sitting at? I mean 1.3. We're sitting at right now 1.29. It keeps getting rejected off of this box, right? So until we can mint a candle back inside of this support, right? Because you have to turn your support became resistance. Now you have to start minting candles where your resistance becomes your support, right? So until you can do that, your mint quickly is going to kind of have some spikes and then some drops, some spikes and then some drops, right? And at the daily chart right now, guys, just to kind of bring you back to what we're looking at, right? So obviously you can see this red candle starting to form here on the total three, which is all of the altcoins, which means we don't even have to look at the crypto bubbles. We don't have to look at anything else. We don't have to do any of that. Your total three has a red candle on it for the hour, right? I mean for the day. So if we go over here and look at the crypto bubbles, what do you think is gonna happen? They're all in red. 99% of them are in red. We didn't need to go any further. We didn't have to look into bubbles. We didn't have to do any of that. You just follow the total three. That'll tell you exactly. That'll tell you exactly where you're going today. Yeah. So, Selma, we need that clarity in order for the market really to set. We need that clarity. So that's kind of where you're at. Total cap, you're banging up against resistance. Total three, you're banging up against resistance right now. Uh, so then let's move this over and just take a look at BTC. Let's see what's going on with BTC, right? There's a lot going on with BTC right now. BTC is just in some crazy, crazy, crazy times right now, right? So here, right here, was your bear flag, right? This was it, right? This was the big downturn. This was the bear flag. It fell out of this channel right here, and this was hell on earth, right? This is when everybody was going, "Oh my God, Bitcoin's going down to 40K. Bitcoin's going down to 20K, man. Oh my God, Bitcoin's never going to survive this," right? First of all, I'll tell you guys right now, Bitcoin's not, in my opinion, this is just BB's opinion, not financial advice. I'm not your financial advisor. If you need one, seek one, not him, right? Uh, I don't think Bitcoin's going under 73,000. Just wrong. Just this when we get to a bear market, I don't see Bitcoin going under 73,000. There's too much ETF holdings and there's too many people holding it in a reserve, right? Too many companies holding it in a reserve for it to drop below, in my opinion, to drop below that level, right? So I don't see Bitcoin going under 73. And I think if we do get to 73, I think that's where you'll see your absolute sideways action, right? Somewhere around 73 to 75, right? Can't be 100% exact, but somewhere up in there. So here it is. Here's your bear flag. There it is. Dropped out of your bear flag right here. And what happened? What happened when you dropped out? You came all the way down here to the bottom, which is this is your support right here. It's at the bottom of this flag, right? So what happened? You came down there and hit it. You bounced off of it. And you came back up and you tried to get back up in this tunnel and you got rejected again. You got rejected again here, right? So you had to go find some new support for Bitcoin. That support level was right there, right? That support level was right there at around let's call it 80, let's call it 89,000, just so that we're not splitting hairs here. Let's just call it 89,000, right? Yeah, 89. And then once you found that support, you chopped sideways from it. And then you fell below that, right? You fell below it. You couldn't hold that support, and you fell right around 80, 85,000. And then we just traded sideways right here in this box between that support and 85,000, right? Busted out of that support, busted out of the sideways action to the upside, right? What happened? What happened? You came right back up here. You tested this level where you would have busted back into this tunnel right here, this bear flag, and you got rejected again, right? You got rejected again. So that's where we are today, right? We're coming off of this rejection level right here, sitting right around 93. Hold on, let me make sure this is right here. Sitting right around 93.5. Let's just call it 93.5 for the sake of argument. And it's sitting right around 93.5. You got rejected off of that again. Now you're coming back down. You're at 91.9 right now. 91.9. So where would be the most logical place for Bitcoin to go? Right? Let's talk about it. It's got to come. There's your EMAs, right? You're sitting inside of your EMAs right there. The most logical place for Bitcoin to come is back down here to around 90,000 to test this top level that it was sitting at right here to see if it can bounce back up, right? That's just charting, right? We're just looking at the chart. So you have your total market cap on the downside today. You have your total 3 on the downside today. You have Bitcoin on the downside today, right? And Bitcoin losing its support level basically around that 93, 93.4, 93.5, which is the last rejection zone of that bear flag, right? So the common sense approach to this would say that Bitcoin's going to come down here and see if it can regain this support level around 90,000, right? All that being said, that's kind of setting the stage for where the market's going today, y'all. Setting the stage, telling you why I'm saying what we're saying, why I'm saying what we're saying, right? And here's the tunnel right here here is the support level right here that we were following since 2023 for Bitcoin, right? So Bitcoin we're looking at that level right there, right? It's interesting level. It's 100,000, right? So no matter what happens between now and the time that Bitcoin gets up to $100,000, right? No matter what happens, all that's noise, right? We're just trying to figure it out. If Bitcoin gets back up to 100K, it's got to come through that that once was support in that on the bottom side of that tunnel, which once was support, is now going to act like resistance for Bitcoin at $100,000. Now we just seen what the total 3 did every time it hit the bottom side of that channel. They got kicked back down. Bitcoin's going to have a hard time breaking $100,000 and breaking that level, right? So for anybody to sit up here and say that Bitcoin's going to 126 and it's just going to run up back to 126 and set new all-time highs, we can't even have that conversation until Bitcoin can get back inside of that channel at $100,000 where it's going to meet a ton of resistance trying to get back on there. You've seen the total 3. You've seen all the resistance that it hit, right? And it's still hitting resistance. It's still banging its head, right, on that level. For Bitcoin to get back up to a new all-time, it's gonna have a problem at 100,000. It's got a problem. It's got a problem. So it we can't even talk new BTC all-time highs until that happens, right? Until we get in there. That discussion is not even on the table. So we gotta play Bitcoin for where it is now, right? Uh be on the lookout for a couple of IPOs. I think a couple IPOs are in the works this year. Somo, I think you're gonna get OpenAI or ChatGPT, OpenAI IPOs this year. I think them are coming. But yeah, so Bitcoin's definitely a downtrend today. Let's just look at it for what it is, right? And so there's where we're headed, right? So we got XRP. Let's pull up XRP. Look at this run that XRP went on, right? On that daily, right? Uh, but this is the ultimate support level for XRP. XRP's ultimate support level right now is right around 188, right? I mean a dollar 88, right? Right. That's the ultimate support level, right? But when we look at this, XRP's been on a steady uptrend for 2, 3, 4, 5 days. You can see it. It broke out of this. It broke out of this consolidation zone, went on a massive run. Let's just see how big of a run this was. Right? Have a look. Let's have how big of a run it was. This was about a 80% gain on your money right here, from where it was to where it went to at its high, right? So about 80% run. Not too bad, right? Not too bad. And a lot of this is ETF value, right? A lot of this is ETF value. Let's call it what it is. Retail's not going to push that market cap up that high. There's not enough money in retail to push that market cap up that high. Just not going to happen. So if the market pulls back today, like it looks like it's gonna pull back just a little bit today, I'm not saying that we're going to crash, but I just think that we're going to have a little bit of a correction, right? Which is due after the big run up for we just seen it in the total three. There's a big run up for like 10 days. You got to have a little bit of a correction, right? Got to pull just a little bit, got to correct a little bit, got to make uh got to make got to make this thing, fill these gaps, right? Uh I just watched OG Doji video about Starlink. I think Starlink will have an IPO this year too. Uh, I think they're going to IPO this year. But when we look at XRP, you had this big run up. What do I always tell you? When a big run up, you usually can have a correction about halfway down, right? So let's just kind of have a look. We're about this is about halfway, right? Let's just call it right here. It's about halfway, right? Right about where the EMAs are. So about halfway, right? So let's just throw this line up here real quick. See where it takes us. So this line right here is roughly about a $2.13. So if you look at XRP and you're playing XRP right now, you're playing it to the downside. It's in at $2.24 right now. Uh, if it continues on this trend, we can look at about a $2.13 pullback, right? $2.13. So now let's look and see what our indicators say, right? Have a look. It's getting to be in. Now that we have all that, let's look and see if our indicators match up with what we're saying. Looking to be like it's going into oversold territory. I mean, overbought territory on the daily. It's working its way up there. Uh, you got the wave indicator here saying that it's extremely to the upside, right? So what's on the upside? It's got to come to the downside, right? So it looks like it's going to pull back a little bit at some point here. At some point today, you'll get the sell signal on XRP. $2.13 probably your target, right? About halfway down that run up, right? About halfway down. And there's support levels and resistance levels there to support that halfway move, right? Look at this. Look at that support right there at 213, resistance right there at 213, right? So when we look at this, right? Look at this thing. I'm giving it to you guys this morning. Take it, leave it, or not, right? So you have support right here, right? Right here is your support, and then you turn that support into resistance right here at 213, somewhere around 213. Not exactly, but somewhere right up in that area. You turn that into resistance, right? Now, if you come back down here, can you make that support, right? Can you make that support? That's the question. That's the question. Uh, that's what we have to look at today, right? So that's what we're looking at today for XRP. I'm giving it to you. You guys want to know how to make money? You guys want to know how to make money? I'm telling you guys how to make some money. Right there. Look at it right there. Which once was support became resistance. Now can you make it back into support? That's the question. That is. And Solana. Let's look at Solana. We got Solana chart all kinds of marked up over here. Solana, because I think Solana could be that dog. Will be that dog. I don't want to draw on the damn thing. I just got stuff going on all over. Hold on. All right. Here we are with Solana, right? We're checking out Solana. Solana looks like it's going to the overbought territory as well, and it's definitely on a red candle for today. Definitely coming down. When you look at Solana, it's starting to come right into the moving averages, the EMA ribbons right there. Starting to definitely come, sit right inside of them. Definitely looks like it's down just a little bit. I'm not saying that today's going to be a completely down day, but right now you have to play it down, right? Right now the market's saying play it down, so that's kind of what you got to do. And you can see it. We'll draw it out there. We'll draw this out for you. So you want to know how we do it? Just you know how we do it. How we do it. This is how we. We're gonna take this. You're gonna take this parallel channel right here and run this thing up from right here to right here, and then move it over to here, right? And then move it into there. And we'll drill this in, right? So there's the channel that Solana was on the uptrend, right? Fell out of that channel. So now it's definitely on the downtrend, right? It busted out of there. So now Solana becomes bearish. It was bullish in here, but once it busted out of that channel, it becomes what? It becomes bearish. Right? So that's why we talk about Solana the way that we talk about it. So definitely good opportunities out there to make some money if you know how to short the market. At least this morning. At least this morning. I wanted to let's look at the liquidation levels real quick. Because here's where we're gonna run into trouble. Look at the liquidation level. Look at the amount of leverage that's sitting on Bitcoin right now. Look at that leverage. And let's talk about this leverage because there's monster numbers of leverage here. So let's go to the high over here. And this is just on finance, right? So you got the top level sitting around 93,700, right? And how much is sitting up there? Well, let's have a look. Let's just look real quick. You got, hold on. Make sure we're at the right spot here. 94, I'm sorry, 94.5. 94.5 is what is where it is, right? And you got roughly about $466 million sitting there to be liquidated. 50x leverage, 15.3, 100x leverage, about 15.5. The next level on that is what we were looking at before, which is roughly about 90, 93.7. And you're looking at about 247 million worth of liquidation sitting up there. So that's a ton of leverage to the upside of us. The downside on the bottom side, you're looking
right around 90,700. You're looking at 276 million, and right underneath that level, you're looking right around, well, right above it, you're looking right around 91,000. You're looking at about 163 million. Now, if you go back and you remember what I said about that support channel on Bitcoin, it was roughly around $90,000, right? So if they just drop Bitcoin and go back to support, they'll liquidate all of them, everything underneath us. So just think about that for a minute. They'll liquidate about everything underneath us. So got to know where these levels are, right? Got to know where these levels are. And when we look at these levels over here for, we looked at XRP today, so let's look at the liquidation level for XRP. To the top side, where you got $2.32, and you got about 48.5 million sitting there, right? Right underneath us, to the bottom side, hold on one second. It looks like I might get thrown off the TikTok here. Hold on. We're about to get off there in a second anyway. See if I can fix this up. Damn. All right, this ain't gonna let me. This ain't gonna let me roll this out here. So, but yeah, like XRP's got some liquidation levels that are pretty tight right here. So it supports our theory that it's probably going to head down to the level that we talked about, around 213, which isn't bad for XRP. I mean, it went on a nice run, right? So with that, y'all, we're gonna go ahead. We're gonna wrap up for the day. But yo, when we look at these, when we look at the situation, you want to play your altcoins for what they are. And I'm telling you right now, the altcoins that I would be playing right now, um, if you're looking for entry points, probably Solana. It's probably Solana. Uh, maybe XRP if it drops, and AVAX. I think them are some strong plays right now. Uh, and if you're looking at some meme coins to play, I would take a look at Bonk on the downside. Oh yeah, and look at Render. As Render starts to come down too, Render has made a tremendous move to the upside, and we didn't get a chance to look at Render yet. Uh, but if you're looking at some meme coins to play, uh, as they start to come down a little bit, some top tier meme coins that you may want to get into. Take a look at Pepe, as it made a nice run this week and starting to pull back a little bit. Take a look at Bonk. Take a look at some of your OG meme coins as they start to make some runs up, and also take a look at Aerodrome Finance. I think Aerodrome's ready to make a move. It started to make a move already. Looks like it wants to make a move, and I pay some special attention to SPX 6900 as it starts to pull back. It has some really good support levels sitting up in there right now. and could definitely be one to mess with, just for it to get back up to its to where it was before the liquidation levels happened. You're looking at a 2x already on that. So definitely there's some projects out there to take a look at. But if you want to stay in that top tier, like I said, and I'm starting to become a little bit more and more bullish on the SUI ecosystem as well. And I'll be coming out with a video letting you guys know why. I think that there's a lot going on over there. And if Solana does get caught up in this mess with Pump That Fund, this could be truly, I believe, will probably take a lot of that volume. So pay attention to that as well. So a lot of good stuff are going on out there right now. Pullbacks, a little bit of a pullback will probably happen this morning, but it give you guys some great entry points into some altcoin top tier in that top tier that you can get into. Uh, I like BitTester. I like BitTester. Anything AI right now that's sitting out there that's top tier. AI has had its own little run by itself right now. So anything that's AI out there right now that looks good, it could be a move. Like I told you guys at the end of 2025, going into 2000, and I stand by this. I stand 10 toes down on this. For 2026, the projects that will run will be AI, real world tokenized assets, and I do believe that the chain links, the pipes, and the quants are going to have a huge run here, just because they're gonna start linking all this stuff together. So I think that them guys will have a huge run here in 2026, and that's kind of what I'm going with for 2026 as the projects that I think are really going to take off. Right, I do think that there will be some blockchains that fall off this year. They just won't be able to make it. Start to fall down, and there will be some clear cut winners. There will be some clear cut blockchain winners, and there will be some clear cut blockchain losers. Uh, and who them are yet to be seen. And but I know it. I know it's not going to be Ethereum. I know it's not going to be Solana, and it's probably not going to be Sui. So we'll see. We'll see which ones make it and which ones don't. But all right, guys, I'm out of here. I got a crazy busy day today. So with that, I'll see you guys Friday. We'll do a TGIF on YouTube, X, and on TikTok. And TikTok, you guys may get me tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. I may just go live on TikTok over there tomorrow at 7 a.m. So you guys have a great day. Appreciate you guys. And I'll catch you guys on Friday. I'll catch all you guys on Friday. And like I said on TikTok, I may just do a TikTok on Thursday morning at 7 a.m. So uh, TikTok exclusive. So with that, man, have a great day. And I hope you guys learned something today. And I hope you guys were able to look at some of them charts that we went into and actually understand where the market's going. And we didn't totally break all the meme points down and all the altcoins down, but I showed you guys what to look at. So with that, we're up out of here. Deuces. See you Friday.